Well, good morning. Good morning. How are you doing this Monday morning? Today, we are painting live. We are painting a gumball machine. This is part of Erica's Template Tribe from, I want to say February, so last month. So if you don't know what Erica's Template Tribe is, it's a email only membership where you get every design that Wallace House Designs puts out for the next month. You get it on the first of the month. So on February 1st, every Erica's Template Tribe member got every single design that was going to be released in February. So that's really exciting. It's a perk. They also get the PNGs, where I never release PNGs to anybody but Erica's Template Tribe members. So we're going to paint the gumball machine today, and we do have a fun little guest over here. Say your name.
Raylyn.
It's Raylyn. Raylyn's with us today. Now she's over here painting her octopus. You want to come over here and show them?
You already showed them.
I've already showed them. I was hoping you would be live today. Yes. Okay, so we're going to try something new. I usually go live later in the week, but I think I'm liking Mondays. Mondays, I need a little pick-me-up, and every time I go live, I get really excited, and I have like a second wind. Please tell me that wasn't open paint.
No, it wasn't.
Okay. And it should be eventful with Raylyn with us today. Hey, Ashley. Hey, Jerry. So we are going to go live today. We're going to paint the gumball. We're going to do some shading in here. We're going to do some fun. And I want to talk to y'all about a little thing that we've got coming up next month. But studio members, paint studio members, get a perk to it. So I want to announce it. They don't even know it's coming. I'm so excited. And here it is. Here's a sneak peek. So there's our color scheme. This is what inspired. I was in a fabric shop, and it inspired a little workshop that we're going to have next month. So I wanted to give y'all a little sneak peek on that. That's coming next month. It will be open to the public, but it's going to be open to paint studio members first. Okay, so while we're chit-chatting, let's go ahead and base coat this. We're going to base coat the entire thing. So we're going to start off with the machine itself, and then we'll come back to the gumballs. So the machine itself is going to be pink, gray, kind of a sky baby blue, pink and gray, and a little bit of purple down here. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, I hid my brushes from our little friend here. So I have some brushes over here. We're going to pick out pink. I've got my handy dandy little pink heart over here. Yes, ma'am.
Pink too?
Yes, you can have some pink too. So Mondays, I'm thinking Mondays are going to be fun. Are Mondays good for everybody else? Tell me if Monday's a good day. I can't do it when it's best for everybody, but I can at least try. We're going to go with Indian Turquoise. Here we go. So I have a cart here where my entire top tray is nothing but just random paint.
Mom, look.
It's so beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to pull. When I base coat, I just base coat off of this. Unless it's an attachment size. Then I have some craft paper over here that I like to do my mixing and blending with. So let's go ahead and get to painting. Let's pull a 1-inch flat brush. You can also use a 2-inch. This one isn't very wide. It's 22 inches tall, but it's about a little shy of 15 inches wide. All right, so we're going to go ahead and paint the gumball glass. We're going to paint that straight from the bottle, Indian Turquoise. This is all Deco Art colors, unless I tell you different, okay? 9 times out of 10, it's going to be Deco Art, just because that's what my Hobby Lobby carries, and I do kind of prefer it over some other brands because of how thick they can be. They can be one-coaters. A lot of shades can be really good one-coaters. Like this one right here, this is a one-coater. It's a one-coat wonder. So how is y'all's week going? I know it's only Monday, and I know it's only it's about 11 o'clock here where I am in Louisiana. It's about 11 o'clock here, and it's been a good morning so far. I've got to spend a little time with my little princess over here. We're getting to paint. It's beautiful.
I'm done after you.
You're not done. I see a lot of bare wood there. Are you going to go play with your Barbies now?
No, I'm not done yet. I have to do this whole circle.
That's right. You got to paint your whole circle. Maybe we'll get this to Nana. We'll put a magnet on it, and it can go on her fridge.
Yeah, Nana will love it.
Nana would love it.
Thanks. Then Mama.
I've pulled some extra stuff to keep her
Mama.
occupied.
Mama.
She's Zoom spoo
Mama.
stuff.
Mama.
Yes, my baby.
My Nana's party's coming now. But we need presents.
Well, you're making her a present.
Oh, yeah, I am.
Okay, so we're just base coating here. And this is my process. I keep a very simple process. I like to simplify paint strokes and techniques. There's some really technical techniques out there that can be a little intimidating. You need some orange? That can be a little intimidating. And so I try to like bump back some of the steps involved and keep it as simple as possible.
I need more.
You need more?
Yeah.
That was a negative, but we'll oblige. I love this little girl. Her birthday's in May, and we the chat of birthday party has been undergoing in our house. And so when we talk about one birthday to her, we're talking about all birthdays. And like I said, we've got till May.
I'm ahead.
But because it's right at the end of the school year, for us, we like to go ahead and have plans made and go ahead and circulate the information to some family members that are in different districts than us. Because in Louisiana, not all schools are on the same schedules. Like one city over, they're completely different spring break. They're completely different fall break. Their summers and their school years start and end at different times. Just a couple days off, but it makes a difference. So we go ahead and plan her party. My son's a lot easier because he's in December. We can have it whenever we want because it's not going to appease anybody. Nobody's going to be available.
Mama,
and he's a teenager, so we're past the party. Someone's messing in their car, and my dog is just going to go berserk. Mine is tomorrow. Yours is tomorrow, Jerry. I'm so excited. What you going to do for your birthday? Rum up. Baby. Be sweet. Be sweet. Be sweet. Nobody can hear you, baby. Nobody that is aggravating you can hear you. He's an old man. He's that get off my lawn old man. Speaking of that, I have a funny story about bark.
that dog is so weird.
He's not a bad dog. He's all right, so now we're gonna pull carousel pink. You could also let me see if I have a baby pink already. Grandma, baby. You wanna go outside? Didn't think so. He's like, no, it's cold. We had a little cold front come in last night. All right, so we've got carousel pink. We're going to add a little white to it. We're going to ghost it out a little bit. That's what I call adding white to. We're going to ghost it out. We're going to bring it down in value. We're going to bring it.
Mommy, look.
It's so beautiful.
I think I need
So we're going to do about a half and half mixture of white and pink. Maybe not quite half and half.
Oh, sorry, I'll pick it up.
What would happen? What fell?
The pom-poms.
The pom-poms? Okay.
And now it's time for the pom-poms.
And I put both colors on. That's how I get a good half and half mixture. You do not need pom-poms on your, and I just go ahead and mix it on the wood. You can, baby, I'm talking to my friends, okay? And we've already talked about the pom-poms. The pom-poms are not happening today. They are so not happening. Maybe after it's completely dry and we've sealed it. How about that?
Yeah,
but not right now, the second.
Yeah, and I'll pick something from here. We got glue by the pom-poms and ooh.
So that's how I get a good, like a consistent color. But this will also, baby, you're done. You want to paint something new? Yeah. I figured. Okay, so let me put this over here and dry. I told y'all I pulled a whole stack of things that are here. I have a heart for you. This is for Nene, okay?
Yeah, Nene,
to keep her occupied. I just go ahead and I mix it together on the wood. You could also take the back of your brush and mix it together. But I like the streakiness, especially with the look in the mock-up. This is an easy way to get some depth without having to do a whole lot of shading, a whole lot of work. This is what I call messy painting. You throw two different colors on your brush and just see where they land on the wood. And you'll get like a lighter, it's almost like, what is it? A skein of yarn, a variegated skein of yarn. You get all different colors and they just kind of fade in and fade out of each other. There's harsh transitions. That's what it reminds me of when I do some messy painting. But it all, when you step away, when you step back, it all looks like one color. Anything that's kind of metallic, like a gumball machine, it's metal, right? Well, the one in my head when I designed this, it's metal. So I like anything that has kind of a metal sheen to it, especially if it's colored like this. This is a perfect way to get that light bouncing off of the object look without having to shade each individual section. It's an easy, lazy way. I'm going to go ahead and say the word now. It's a little on the lazy side. That's why I call it lazy or messy painting. It's fun. It's fun. It makes it easy.
Mommy.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Mommy.
So what I normally do is when I let her paint these little pieces, these are like little garland pieces that didn't cut out very well. I sand them down and I let her paint them, and then I stencil something fun on them, and they become gifts for all the grandmas.
Mommy, I want a stencil.
Well, we're not going to stencil, and you're going to use your big girl voice. How about that?
I swear. Oh.
There's your big girl voice. Okay, so we're almost done base coating the actual machine itself. We will base coat the gumballs as we work on them because they kind of hide behind each other. Hey, Suze. Hey, Miss Brenda. Hey, Elijah. How's my sweet baby doing? Jeannie. Oh, my goodness. I caught you live. Hello, sweet friend. Hello, my sweet friend. Oh, look, see, I've got a little bit of blue. I don't know if you can see that in there. It's streaked in there. I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm going to make it work to my advantage. If you have problems where colors run into other colors, there's an easy way to avoid that. It does take a little extra painting time, but not much. All you have to do is make sure you blow dry in between colors. So to have avoided that, all I had to do was blow dry the blue before I ever worked on the pink. So I have two colors on my brush right now, minus the blue that's sneaking in there. No big deal. No big deal, right? I'm just going to do that. And I'm going to come over here. I like to work with craft paper on my workspace. It's not the prettiest, but it is actually kind of cool when you pick up, like, look at this. When you pick something up and you've got the ghost of everything you've painted with this one particular piece. It's kind of cool. It's like telling the history of door hangers past. It's what is that? The Christmas Carol. It's the door hanger carol. Like, it's really cool. It's a cool. I've been doing this at paint parties. People love it. Plus, they can come over here and practice making flowers before they ever touch their wood. It's one of my favorite paint party hack is to just throw some craft paper. Quit buying the vinyl, cutesy tablecloths. That's the word. Quit buying those and spending the money on those. Just buy a roll of craft paper, cut it to the length that you need, and let that be the tablecloth. It protects the table. It actually adds a practice workspace for people who aren't quite comfortable. And it kind of tells a story. I've reused table coverings at paint parties a couple times over before I ever throw them away. And people think it's really cool where they can see a bunny base coated onto their, they're like, oh, look, someone painted a bunny here before. I was like, watch, when you get done, it's going to look even cooler because now there's layers and layers of it. It's not until it gets kind of torn up that I throw it away. All right, I'm just base coating this up here, not being very particular about where it's laying. Remember, I've got both pink and white, and I am just giving a good coat. I'm not caring if it mixes completely in together or if it showcases a little white, a little pink. I want to see the streakiness, but I don't want it to be harsh transitions. So while it's wet, I'm just doing a couple of brush strokes and it kind of cleans it up.
Pink? Can I have baby pink?
You can mix your pink and your white and make baby pink.
Huh. I can't.
Yes, you can. Don't fling paint, baby. You're flinging it. Take your frustrations out on something other than the paint and the brush.
I just can't. glue in there.
Okay, that's because you got to wash your brush out. There you go. Get a new brush.
I don't want to get a new brush. I want a new.
We plan to paint a little later. Just her and I. Hey, look, we can share this. How about that? There you go. Are you just using your apron?
Oh.
That's fine. I use my apron all the time to dry my brush off. Can you fix your light? What light? This is it. I usually paint in my studio in the backyard, but we had a cold front, and we're in the process of kind of gutting out our house because we plan to move in the next year or so. And my studio is acting as a storage shed for all of my craft business. So I'm painting in my kitchen. So if it's a little dim, it's just because we're in my kitchen right now. Hello from Arizona. Hey, Tammy. I just joined your template club yesterday. I'm so excited. Did you join Tribe or did you join Studio? Because I have two template clubs. One is a painting group where we get together and we paint a decor set where it's a door hanger.
Mama, the bottom.
Yeah, I'm going to paint the bottom. I got a girl. Thank you for looking out, though. We paint a decor set where you get a door hanger design. You get a garland or a banner, whatever you call it. Some people call it a garland. Some people... It's not a race, baby. But thank you. It is beautiful.
Can I go wash my hands?
Yes, you can go wash your hands. Wash them in the bathroom, okay?
Wash them in the bathroom?
Because you don't need your stool when you're in the bathroom. You get a door hanger design, you get a garland, and you get a porch cleaner attachment. Or I brought this because we painted this on Friday. We painted this little guy on Friday, and I wanted you to know it didn't have to go on a porch cleaner. If you have an interchangeable sign, which I have plenty of these hanging around, you can also put it on a door hanger. I have a lot of people that join just for the garland because if you know me, I love a garland, but I don't release them publicly. If you like garlands, then you want to be a part of Paint Studio, which is the one that I'm talking about. All the garlands in it are exclusive, the files for it. So if you want to be able to cut your own, they're exclusive and will not be released to the public. Now, you can order blanks because, studio members need access to blanks, but you cannot get the files to cut them yourselves. The blanks, this is a blank, the wooden surface. The blanks are available on the website. You can get those, but studio members have exclusive access to the garlands themselves. And then they have exclusive use of the designs released as far as the door hanger and the attachment. They have exclusive use of those for 60 days before they go public to the... So say this is not a studio design, but say this was. Then they would have this for 60 full days before you ever even knew it existed. I like to spoil my studio members. Then we have Erica's Template Tribe, this is a part of Erica's Template Tribe. And that's another perk of Studio. Studio designs never become a part of Tribe designs. If you like to paint as a group and do group projects, Studio is for you. If you like garlands, Studio is for you. If you like to get door hanger designs for a discounted price and you like to see them before everybody else knows what's coming out, then Tribe is for you. Because what Tribe is, Erica's Template Tribe, it is a group. It's email only. You get one email. I'm not going to bombard you with a million emails, I promise. It's one email a month that contains every design that's going public that month. So this one was a February design. They got it on February 1st, along with all 22 other designs, I think. So you get anywhere between 20 to 25, plus I always throw bonuses in there. And you get those before they ever go public, before anybody ever sees them. You get every single one that's come in each month. You get to see them before everybody else. And you get every format. You get the printable template, you get the JPEG, and you get the bonus for being a Tribe member that is exclusive only to Tribe, is you get the PNG. So if you want to be able to do marketing flyers for paint parties, or if you want to do a sublimation on a cup or a t-shirt or a tea towel or something fun as a gift, you also have that added perk for all my sublimation machine owners. Or someone that wants to do something with their Cricut or their silhouette. The attachment, do you have a strip of Velcro or and cut it down? Yes, actually. And I just put my Velcro. I use industrial Velcro. And I don't care what color. It can be black. It can be white. In fact, I want to say that's the black industrial Velcro that I just cut down. It comes in about 2-inch wide strips. And I cut about a 2-inch square of it. And then I cut it down the middle. So there's that, and then that's the white Velcro. I just make sure that I keep it consistent, that the surfaces, like the door hanger or the porch leaner, they get the scruffy side, and the attachments always get the soft side. And that's how I keep it organized. There's only one person that I screwed that up with royally. And she reminds me every time I send her, it's one of my best friends. I send her, I'm like, oh, I put something in the mail for you. And she goes, I need more Velcro. And I'm like, dang it, I forgot. Yours is backwards. Okay, so you can buy that Velcro at Michael's. In fact, I think you can get the black and the white at Michael's, Walmart, Hobby Lobby. The Velcro, where is it located? Velcro is normally located somewhere around the sewing section because you use a lot of Velcro when you sew sometimes. So that's where I normally find mine. Raylyn, your hands are thoroughly washed, my dear. She's now playing. All right, why don't you go spend some quality time with your Barbies? I'm pretty sure they miss you. You're not done painting? Okay, you do? You think so? You actually have a couple more. You want to do a froggy or an egg?
A froggy.
Okay, there you go.
That was my niece.
Yeah.
Statues.
It looks like her statue. I made her a statue for her Mother's Day last year. Oh my gosh, I signed up for the tribe. I don't see the other one. Okay, so Tammy, if you go to my website, WallaceHouseDesigns.com, on the main page, you're going to see some announcements, and then you're going to see Template Tribe, and then you're going to see Studio.
I need green.
You need green. Well, there's green. You want that green?
Yeah.
Okay. It's all on my website. And if you have trouble, just put the word tribe or studio, whichever one that you're wanting information on, and I'll put it in the comments later. Hey, Becca, how are you doing, girl? Okay, so we are going to blow dry everything bone dry because we're going to do some shading. The way I do shading, there's 2 different ways I do it. We're going to do some floating today, which is going to require us to have a completely dry surface. So let's go ahead and blow dry. And yes, Jerry, I do have my machine, but it got put away in the studio, so I got to go outside and get it today. My husband helped me clean, and he just took any.
This will be my cousin's for Maddie and Sadie.
That's for Maddie and Sadie? Perfect. He made a big box of. He goes, oh yeah, that got put in the extension cords, and I have multiple blow dryers. He goes, I put it with the other blow dryers. I'm like, where'd you put that? And he goes, oh, out in the studio. I'm like, thanks. Thanks for helping. Oh, let's do sign language. Sorry, Dana, you forgot your headphones. Hey, Dana, look what we're going to be using later. What we're going to be using. Dana gave me a whole stack of these bags, and I love them. I'm halfway. Can you imagine? I'm halfway down the stack. I really thought that thing was going to last me a lot longer. Halfway down the stack. Hey, Deidre. One little spot I can tell is wet because it's a little shiny. Once it goes matte, completely matte, I'm good to go.
I don't know what my hands got.
Here, just wipe it on here. There you go. You're okay. Just wash your hands all at the end. There, it's dry paint. You're fine. You're fine. Look, girl. Look, mommy has it on her hands too. Go wash your hands. Here, go do it. She can't stand for her hands to be dirty. She loves to play and get dirty, but she cannot stand for her hands to be dirty. Okay, so we've got base coated everything, right? We're going to start. Now, this is where it gets fun and you start to play. Where do I want to start first? I always start with the thing that's furthest in the back, and I'm going to touch the least. Because once I'm done with it, I'm done with it, okay? And that for me is this class, and I'm going to build up. So let's go ahead and grab some of that straight from the bottle Indian Turquoise. Okay, now let me show y'all this. This is coming from that workshop that I told you about. This is our color scheme. It's so much fun. I use this to pre-record a lot of the videos. And now we're going to flip it over now that it's dry, and we're going to use the back of it. I love these little, this is just a paper bag. Dana cut a bunch of paper bags down to a size that she needed, and she had all the tops just left over. She brought them to me and said, I bet you can use these. And I have loved every second of being able to use these as my palette paper. It's like recycling. It's like reusing something and giving it 3 or 4 lives before I ever throw it away. Hey, Debbie. Finally got you live. Yes, I think I have found a groove. I've been having a lot of issues finding just free time. By the time I cut something out and I say, oh, I'm going to go live today, someone needs me. Which is nice to be needed. But then by the time I'm done, I've lost all my time where I had time to go live and paint with my friends. And I get really, really, really upset about it. All right. So we are going to take a darker blue. And I may need a darker blue than this. But we're going to take this blue. I'm trying to find. Oh, no. I want this one. This is ultra deep blue. No, ultra blue deep. Whatever. You would have been able to find it at Hobby Lobby. Ultra blue deep. And I'm going to take that and just a little bit of blue, a little bit of that dark blue, and we're going to mix them together. And I just use the back of my paintbrush. They do make fancy paint sticks where you can mix your colors together. Yes, you can go back to painting.
I can paint my frog.
Yes, you can paint your frog. Okay, so I've got that.
Can I have that right there, the light thing, the big one right there?
You want the big one?
Yeah.
It's a paint sponge. She wants a paint sponge.
Can I have that small one?
No, you cannot have my color. I need that color. So now I have my new mixed color.
I want the same.
You want the same? You can have what's left over because I'm only going to need it once. Okay?
I want to paint it with the dots on it.
Okay, well, give me just a minute and you can have what's left over. And I need a straight from the bottle petal. I always like to have a clean, uncontaminated puddle of paint whenever I'm doing some shading in the event that I want to do double loaded shading. This is floating, okay? I'm actually doing this backwards because I'm a little distracted this morning. I'm going to clean my brush off. We need a clean brush. Here, I'm going to put the paint rag on my lap, and you can just grab it when you need it, okay? Because I keep trying to grab for it, and it's not there. And I'm going to prep my brush.
Can I have some? Can I have some, Mama? Can I have some?
Here you go.
Yay!
And okay, so I've got a damp brush, not sopping wet, just damp. I know that feeling, Debbie. I know, right? And you know, as moms, and specifically as women, and this is not going to be I am a woman, hear me roar speech, but it kind of is. As women, we're needed a lot, you know. Baby, because it's not a paintbrush, you dab with it.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. And you get some more paint.
Can I have some more dab? Oh.
There you go. See, you dab with it. So we're just going to load half of our brush, and we're going to, if you can tell, I'm going to bring it up close. See that water? I want that water to stay as clear as possible. So if my brush gets a little murky, we need to clean our brush and then re-dampen it, okay? So that's called loading your brush. And we're just going to take that new blue shade that's a little darker than the straight from the bottle. The straight from the bottle Indian Turquoise, which is the color that we're using. That's our base coat color. Okay, we're going to do this. And we're just going to kind of swipe it.
Oh,
and it's going to look a little funny because our brush is wet. So it's not only laying down paint, but it's also laying down water. So it's going to make it look funny, but I'm going to show you this. I'm going to do this little test strip here, this one little side.
Mom, look at this.
Always do a little test strip.
Look, I made a new pink. It's called...
Ooh.
See, Mama?
I see it.
Well, you turn to a new pink. You want to dip some white
Okay.
and some pink. And to a baby pink. And orange and something.
Now just go ahead and swipe that on, and that should give us just enough. Okay, so you see the shine? See the shine right here all the way out here? That's not paint. That's just water. It's going to evaporate and it's going to be crystal clear, okay? I'm going to show you by blow drying it. We're not going to blow dry this whole thing. I'm just going to blow dry this one spot because it blow dries really fast. You're going to see where it just gradually comes from the darker blue into the Indian turquoise. So that water came all the way out to here and now it's dry. So we're just going to, I'm going to clean my brush just because I do need to re-dampen it. It dries out pretty fast. So we're just going to dip our paintbrush in our water. It does help to have clean water, okay? And that may be a thing that I need to go get here just a little bit. Her water's kind of clean. And then we're going to dip in our mixed color that we created here, and we're going to reload our brush, and we're just going to
I want help, Mom. Help.
need yellow.
Yeah, right here.
Oh, cap wasn't fully open.
More.
No, that's enough. You have a very small piece. You do not need more. Okay, so now we're going to flip our piece around, and we are going to do the same thing. We're just going to go all the way around town on this glass, and I am just keeping it very consistent. And because we're using the same puddle of paint, the same water, I'm not using a lot of pressure. That is definitely a good tip for this. A lot of people feel like they have to really press down. You do not. A little bit of pressure goes a long way, and it'll make your paint go a lot farther.
Are you sure you can do this, Pop? That's really steep.
No, I got it. So I'm going to just reload my brush with water. Make sure I don't transfer any of that paint along the lines. Okay, and now I'm going to go along the bottom. Now, when you cross, okay, so this is like north and south, right? And we got some east and west. When they're going to cross and intersect, it does help to go ahead and blow dry if it's still wet. But floating, which is the technique that this is called, floating dries pretty fast because you're not laying down a lot of paint at one time. And you can really work it into the previously shaded area.
Mommy.
Because you didn't lay down a lot in the first place.
This will be for...
You said Maddie and Sadie.
Well.
They have an interchangeable design at home that they can put it on. They have a door hanger. Their mama has one.
Oh, yeah. But
she might already have a frog, but she doesn't have your frog.
Well, she needs, but Maddie needs one.
All right, so now we're going to paint the very top. Okay. And do not be afraid to flip this thing all the way around. This is your design. You can flip it whichever way. I'm a very directional painter, which means my hand only paints towards me. It really doesn't do well painting away from me. So I like to have it coming towards me. Floating, definitely, when I'm floating. Okay.
No, never mind.
You got it? You figured it out? Okay, and I'm just picking up paint whenever it's...
Mama, I'm gonna win.
Baby, it's not a race.
Wait, Mommy, it is a race.
It is not a race.
It is.
No, it's supposed to be fun. That means we're not being competitive with it.
Please, can we race?
Not in painting. Mommy doesn't race in paint.
Well, I race in paint.
I want you to always do your best, which means you're taking your time and enjoying what you're doing. So let's not race.
Well, we can do it.
All right, so there we go. So now our gumball is nice and shaded, and we can move on to our pink spot. So let's go ahead and paint our pink. So we're going to do the same thing. This was a mixed pink. We mixed a lot of white with this pink, right? I like floating medium, and that always gets it. Yes, okay. So floating medium, I do have some right here. I grab blending gel. They're the same thing. Blending gel is a little bit wetter than floating medium. I live in a very humid area, so blending gel and floating medium for me dries out faster. Blending gel does self level faster, so I mean there's a give and take there. But when I use my craft paper, here it's just falling out. When I use my craft paper, it ends up staying in its spot. When I use my paint palette, this right here, it just whoosh, levels out. So it just depends on what I'm doing. How are you, my friend? Ooh, is Lori hanging out with us? There's Lori. I see her in the comments.
I'm done. After you.
Ooh, okay. Okay, we're gonna let all your little pieces. You have one more left. Do you want to go play with Barbies for a little bit?
I will put the egg first.
Okay, so here's your last piece. Okay.
Okay.
She has an Easter egg. And if this looks familiar to anybody who ordered blanks last month,
Yeah.
no, this is this month. So if you order blanks with me, I always put a little I love you gift in there. And this is one of them. This month is the Easter egg. So I always throw an attachment size. So that's an attachment size. The Easter egg last month. What was last month? Oh, no, January was a heart. Last month was.
Now it's March.
It is March. Good job. Okay, so let's paint and talk at the same time. So I'm just going to do straight from the bottle carousel pink, since that's going to not clash with this because we used carousel pink to make this baby pink, right? We added white to it. So now all we're going to do is we're going to pick up some baby pink, some carousel pink, and make sure that our brush is nice and damp. And I may demonstrate blend in gel, which is the same as floating medium, same process. So I may do that with the gumballs because gumballs are smaller, and I'll be able to really show you.
I can't wash my hands.
Now remember, there's always paint on both sides of your
Mommy,
brush,
can I
so you
wash
don't
my
always
hands?
have to pick up paint
Mama,
as often.
I can wash my hands with
Are you done, or are they just messy?
Mommy's not done yet. I can wash my hands first.
Okay, well, go wash your hands. Please be careful not to get paint everywhere. Okay, there we go. See, there's one side, and it just gives it a little bit of depth. When you get comfortable with floating, you don't really need a bunch of paint pen to really make things look like they're supposed to look, right? Becca Webster making it, taking it day at a time. How are you? And how are you going live again? Yes, Rebecca. I wanted, or I said Rebecca. Becca, when is that happening? Ashley, if you're still here, when is that happening? I know Ashley kind of flies by the seat of her pants. She goes live almost every day. Okay, so my brush is getting a little dry, and the way I can tell that is that it starts to look a little like Morse code. It gets really patchy, and I can't get the paint to smooth out, so all I do is I add a little water to my brush, and I proceed on. Okay. I'm gonna have to make sure I brush this thing down. I got little Romo hairs everywhere. My paint rag has fallen under the table the last time I painted, and he lays right at my feet when I paint. So that's one of his little hot spots. So that means I need to vacuum down there, and I need to wash my paint rag. These little wispies. All right, so whenever I feel like my brush is just getting a little bit dry, I just tap it. The very bristles, the very tip of the bristles, nothing fancy, not completely submerging it. I'm just going over to my paint palette, and I'm reloading my brush just with a drop of paint on the corner.
Mama, are you done yet?
Am I done yet? No, ma'am, we're only about halfway done.
Yeah, I had to win.
We're a good Bon Jovi song.
Oh man, Hayden won the race.
Hayden won the race?
Yeah, he opened the door, and now we lose.
Now we lose? I don't think so. There's no winner or losers in this. All right, so now we're going to go underneath. And normally I would wait for this to dry before I'd go over it, or I would blow dry it. But since we're live, I'm not gonna make you guys sit through that over and over again. We're gonna do a good bit of blow drying with those gumballs. So,
Okay.
Now this design would make a really cool Mother's Day design. One, because it kind of springy, kind of summery. It can span both. It's kind of a unique, not a flower Mother's Day design. And honestly, that's what I had in mind when I designed it. Was I was probably going to make it for my grandmother for Mother's Day and have each one of the grandkids' names in, or even her kids, have her kids' names in the gumballs up here, and then somehow find a way to glue some gumballs down here, and so have some other extra hanging gumballs coming off, like kind of like a baby door hanger with like a baby announcement, but just have all the extra names just kind of floating on underneath it. And all you would do is you would take this gumball, this very top one right here, and just cut out extra one of those.
Oh, me.
I'm off school
I'm
and
not done.
paint. Oh, look at you. Good job. So wash your hands one last time, and then you and your Barbies go have some quality time, okay?
Okay.
I might stencil some really cool stuff on top of that. I like to take a really good background stencil and stencil like white or just straight black, and all those colors that she, like her Easter egg right here. Her Easter egg. See how like just multicolored it is? I'll take like a polka dot stencil and stencil white polka dots on top of that, and it turns out looking like an Easter egg. I love handing her just random shapes. Well, I missed it. I'll have to go back later and listen. My hubby interrupted. What? What did we talk about? Girl, we're not talking about anything important. I don't think you missed anything. Anything of substance. We're just girl chatting. Okay, there we go. There's all those little Romo hairs kind of. If I let my paint dry, I can just kind of brush them away. Okay, so we still got to paint this up here. And we've got to shade this down, the silver. And then we can start working on the gumballs and all the extra little pieces. Now, for this piece up here, I'm going to bump down in size. Yeah, I don't usually do that with the background, especially as big as the background is, but this is a really small section, and so is this. So we're going to bump down in size. That was about a 1 inch or a 3/4. I think more 3/4 than 1 inch. That was about a 3/4. And this is a 1/2 inch angle. You can also use a 1/2 inch flat, but we're just going to throw some shading on this real quick. It's just going to be just noticeable. So we're not going to do a whole lot of work on it. We're not going to worry ourselves to death about it. Okay. I'm just going to go all the way around. And I'm not going to do the bottom. And I'll tell you why. Because this is touching it too. This part right here, I'm going to shade this all the way across. So if I did the bottom, it really wouldn't matter. Because we would cover it up with that as well. So let's just go. And we're just going to shade all the way around it. Now, all that lazy painting that we did, so the pink kind of fades in and out of all different shades of the same pink, right? All the whole family, color family of that pink. It's going in and out, giving that nice little metallic sheen-esque look. And when you throw a consistent color of a float on top of it, it really makes that pop. See, you really didn't see a whole lot of that variation until we threw this darker shade on there. And now it's really starting to pop. And especially down here in this little gumball looking handle. I'll have to show you that one up close. Okay, so there we go. There's all the pink. We're going to shade this right here and that right there. And all we're going to do, I'm going to turn it sideways so I can pull it towards myself. All done? All right. Is we're going to throw, you can either, it's over here drying with your other stuff.
I'm not done yet.
Oh, you're not done yet? Hey, you need to calm it down, sister. I thought you were done. I'm sorry. There you go. Okay, we're going to take either a dark brown or a black. Okay, and I say that very, very carefully because either one can really, it's going to be like half a drop of black if we use black. And I did pick black. I did pick black, okay?
Oh!
What happened? It's okay. Finish painting and
I
you
don't want to.
go wash your hands. We're going to mix our gray into the black. Okay, and we're not going to need a whole lot because we're just floating. We just need about a shade darker. I said that you could use a dark brown to do the same thing. Yes, you can. You can do a blue as well. So whatever you do, you want to gradually bring your gray. Gray is about the only color that I'm really funny about. I will have multiple bottles of multiple shades just because gray, it's hard to deepen a gray without using too much black. Okay. So I'm going to prime it over here. I'm going to load my brush properly with the water and the gray. All right, I'm going to put it on the tip of my brush. And then we are going to, I'm going to have to do it upside down. Really cool she was done. Okay, and we're just going to light pressure build up our float on the top and the sides of our gray areas. And gray, because it's very white based, it does dry out faster than most colors that you float with. Yes, my baby. Awesome. See, I knew you were done because that's what you said to me when you went to wash your hands.
Are you ready to go? Are you ready for that?
We're not going to do pom-poms. I told you we'd do pom-poms when we paint it together later, okay?
Mom, I want to more pom-poms. I want to go get nothing right off the paint.
And now we're going to shade this right here.
Ooh, it's so fun.
Put it up. Put it up, or we're not going to do them at all later. You can go play with your Barbies.
2. I got 2. So I can...
Ray, you're skating on thin ice, babe girl.
Come on, Pom.
Put that out of her reach. Okay. Now.
Oh.
Okay. We may still hear her in the background because she tends to play in the living room. Oh, my nose itches all of a sudden. She tends to play in the living room. Now, my biggest fear right now, and I may need to use the blending gel just to keep my brush clean. Gray likes to soak up. It likes to soak up pigment. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put blending gel or floating medium in my brush. All I did was I stuck it in some blending gel and floating medium, and I just kind of wiped it off of my brush on my palette. And now I'm going to just proceed on like I was with the rest of the design. Now, blending gel and floating medium stay wetter longer than water. And that's why it's a really nice thing to have on hand. So you kind of have time to work with something before it starts to dry out. The only problem is things like to venture into it. So you really need to use that light touch. You don't want to push the paint on your brush across the entire bristle. Okay. We're just going to go all the way around this top, then turn it around, and we're going to go all the way around this bottom. And that's going to give us a nice little shadow. around the entire base. The only thing you have to be very careful about is the direction your bristles are being laid in when you go to lay your bristles down. So you want to make sure that the side that has the color, the paint, you want to make sure that's being laid down on top of the previous paint. So on the edge. Okay, we're almost done. Look how fast this is going. That blending gel, floating medium really pushes that paint around, so it makes it last a little longer too. Okay, there we go. See the nice little halo? Okay. All right. Okie dokie. So we are completely shaded. All we have to do is throw in some of this stuff down here. Like I said, we're using the gumballs for last because we really want to focus and make sure we do a good job on those. This is purple. This is purple. This is yellow. We'll do the yellow part last because we'll do our yellow polka dots first. So let's pull lavender. This is Deco Art Lavender. Straight from the bottle. Straight from the bottle. And we're going to add just a little bit of white. 2 parts lavender, 1 part white. We don't want it to be a huge difference. We just want it to be a shade lighter. We don't need a lot of it. Okay. We're going to take our angle brush, the one that we were just using, because it's a smaller part. We don't want a huge brush making a mess. The bigger your brush, the more of a mess. You really want to use the proper size that you're most comfortable with and the proper shape. Each bristle shape does a particular job. VUNFYI. What are we talking about? The FYI? What's going on there? What are we talking about? FYI. What is for our information? We saying fun? FYI, yes. Painting is fun, and it is one of my favorite things to do. When I get stressed out, it's copper. Wait. Who's Cooper? It's Cooper. You should know me working while I watch. Oh, wait. Took me a minute, Becca. I'm like, who are you calling out? Who are you calling out? I'm looking for the name Cooper in the comments. I'm like, uh-oh. Becca's calling somebody out. Everybody grab some popcorn. It may get interesting. I know what you're talking about now. It took me a minute. I thought we had someone in the comments that would get. I've had trolls lately, and I was like, oh gosh, not again. I've just ignored them. Haven't even given them, like, I don't even call them out. I just ignore them and I delete them. I should probably blast them because that's what they're wanting, but I don't like to give people what they want when I know that they have ulterior motives. I'm like, I know what you want, and I'm not going to humor it. I'm like vindictive like that. I know that I will say I'm not usually a vindictive person, but if I know you're trying to get under my skin, you won't. You won't. I will be as sweet as pie. Inside, I am boiling, but I will be as sweet as pie to you. 2 can tango. I'm going to tell you, 2 can play that game. All right, so I'm just base coating this with that It's not quite half and half. It's about 2/3 purple, 1/3 white. And we're going to go up here and we're going to paint this semicircle, not semicircle, this oval. And if you have trouble getting nice clean lines on your edges, get up on the chisel and go sideways with your brush and try, instead of going flat like this, get up and go sideways and get a thinner line. It gets nice and tight on the edges. All right, we're going to move her stuff out of the way and let it dry. Her palette and everything. Give me a little bit more working space. I love when she comes over here and paints live with me, but it really, like, I feel like I'm like this. And I can get a lot faster and a lot cleaner lines when I'm not tucked in like that. Like I said, I love when she wants to come paint with mommy. I asked her this morning when she woke up. She woke up just in time before I cut something out. I'm like, okay, I'm about to cut something out on the laser. What would you like to paint? If you want to paint with mommy, you have the option of playing with your Barbies, or you can come paint with me. And she goes, duh, I wouldn't paint. I said, well, you're just going to paint fun things. So we're not going to, I'll teach you something later. She loves to sit down and learn the brush strokes and stuff like that. But I don't think I would do that on camera. So I told her, I was like, you're just painting for fun. So she put in her order. She wanted an octopus. Good morning, Miss Pam. So glad I'm getting your live again. Yeah, okay, so on Mondays, we're gonna try Mondays. We're gonna try Mondays. I think they're gonna work out for me, logistically, with school schedules. Mondays tend to be later days for the kids at school, so I have more time to fit a live in no matter what time we fit them in. This is yellow, so let's go ahead and I'm just going to do straight from the bottle yellow. We're not going to do any shading on that because yellow is really hard to shade. You have to throw some orange in there, so I'm not going to ghost it out. We're just going to leave it alone. But first, we are going to do straight from the bottle lavender because we ghosted it out to do our base colors. So let's go ahead and dampen our brush. Get a little bit of blending gel on it. Okay. Both sides. Make sure you get it on both sides. And then on the very tip of your brush, let's get some purple. And we're just going to go all the way around. And remember, you don't have to use a lot of pressure. And you really want to wait for it to dry. I did not. And that may not work in my favor. Because I'm pushing the base coat around now and you see a little bit of the pink underneath. I'm going to clean my brush. We're going to blow dry this circle. And we're only going to shade the bottom half of this oval. Okay. Now that that's dry, let's do the bottom of the candy slot. Okay, and then blending gel, clean my brush. Need a new petal of blending gel or floating medium. It only takes a drop. It self-levels really fast. And we're going to do the bottom half. There's something about a circle, especially when the circle is on the bottom. I don't tend to go around the entire circle. I try to fade it in and let there just be a shadow underneath. My 3-year-old little girl paints with me. I got her a little apron. Okay, so she has a little apron. I made her, and it's time to let it go. I made it out of a dish towel, but she's 4 and she's a big 4-year-old, so it barely covers what it needs to cover to keep her from getting paint on it. So we've been on the lookout for a little apron. So wherever you got your little apron, if you have a link for it, I would love it. Love to go shopping for her. She really loves dresses, and I got to put her apron on before she picks up any colors. Look, I got a little bit of splatter paint on every. I got teal splatter paint in here. You can barely see it, but I can see it. I got white splatter paint. There's a little bit of pink splatter paint. She is a messy painter. Oh man, I love watching them, just their little imaginations soar whenever they get to painting, especially like you said, on a little Easter egg. Okay, so we're completely shaded down. We're going to throw some yellow on here and just let it be. And then we are going to start work, and we won't shade this till we're working on a yellow gumball. So let's go ahead and base coat our yellows. And then we'll do our orange and pinks next. And then we'll do our purple, and then we'll do our greens. So let's do it in that order. I may not stick to that order. So, no, I've already got that one. Let's do this. This is Sunny Day. It's my favorite yellow. I have another yellow that I love just as much, but I have been finding that it's harder to find. I don't know if they're phasing it out or if they're replacing it with Sunny Day in the stores. But Banana Cream is my absolute favorite yellow to paint as my primary yellow. It is not primary yellow. It is a pastel yellow, but I love it. It's a one coat wonder. It's a no fuss paint, and it just goes on so smooth. Sunny Day is just as good. So I've been grabbing Sunny Day lately. Jerry, are the craft aprons at Walmart, what is that material? What's that like? It's kind of a cheapy material, and it's not made to, I want one that's going to last her for a little bit. It's a good durable material. I don't necessarily want a vinyl one just because that's not comfortable. I wouldn't want to wear it. I don't want her to have to wear it. So we're just going to go straight from the bottle, Sunny Day. I'm using an angle brush because it does have curves and sharp points, corners. Okay. And the point of an angle brush gets really nice and tight in those sharp points. And the point of an angle brush really goes around curves nicely without a fuss. Without a fuss. Okay. I can hear her pretending with her Barbies in there. Sounds like they're cliffhanging. They're falling off of something. Okay. I can hear her talking about the doctor. Apparently one of them needs to go to the doctor. I love just sitting on the couch. Her bedroom's not too far from the couch. I love sitting on the couch and just listening to her, not realizing I can hear her. Listening to her, just a little imagination. With her being the last, because I don't think I'm having any more babies. With her being the last, it makes me look forward to grandbabies one day. All right, so I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to I would normally take my finger and I would put a dot of paint of the color that helps me. Like, this is green and this is green. This is purple. These are orange. You know, I would normally do that, but I think I have a picture in front of me. I think I can keep it organized. So we're going to go ahead and go in with the yellow. This is straight from the bottle. Sunny Day. Normally I would ghost it out a little bit and then come in and shade with the straight from the bottle color. But yellow is really hard to do that, especially this particular shade of yellow. Since this is my favorite, we're not going to fuss with it. We're going to let it be. And we're just going to press on. I do know there's some Dixie Belle paints that the yellow is really good from what I hear. Put the link in the comments for the apron. Oh, thank you. We were shopping on Amazon for aprons not too long ago. And there were some really cute, like vintagey looking little girl ones. And I was like, oh, that's so pretty. That's too pretty to get paid on. Like, it was just too pretty. I told her, I was like, look, we need one that it's not going to break our heart once you get paint on it, because you will get paint on it. And I realized she could not shop with me for it, because it was one, she wanted the super pretty ones. And I just knew my little heart would break the second she splattered turquoise paint all over it. Okay, so it's this one, and then hold on, I gotta turn it right side. What's this one? All right. Okay. This is where I start to really concentrate, so I'm gonna have to force myself to look up a little more often, because when I paint circles, I sit here and go like, bite my lip. I'm like, how does it look like a circle? Does it still look like a circle? Now, something that I have, and I haven't added it to my shop yet, but I need to. Let me show y'all what I have. I use these at paint parties. And this is what I take to the paint party. It's just a big old pencil container. It has pencils, sharpener, and then circles in different sizes. And they're just, I call them my cheaters. So I think this is a 2-inch. This is a 3-inch, and this is about a 3-inch gumball. Okay. This is a 4-inch. And I can make them in any size. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a listing in my shop that goes, that does a 1-inch, a 2-inch, a 3-inch. I think I'm going to go all the way up to probably a 6-inch for polka dots. This would not be your center of your door hanger unless you do smaller door hangers. This would definitely be for something like this, where you really want to do a perfect circle, but you struggle at draw. I mean, I don't know anybody who can draw a perfect circle. So that's what I've always used at paint parties. They've used it to make polka dots with, and then painted inside the polka dots. They've used it to make the eyes of a character with. They've used it for stuff like this, just where a design called for a circle, but they didn't want to break that template back out in the carbon paper. They just wanted to freehand some circles. So I may just throw a listing in there that has like 6 different circles in different sizes. Oh no, I made it. Yay. No, not oh no. Oh yay. You better fix that, Cindy. Circles are hard for me. I'm telling you, they were hard for me, and that's when I started making them. When I was doing custom orders, it was really hard for me to do. The thing that was hardest was the eyeballs. It was really hard to do eyeballs or something and keep them consistent. And so I started cutting those out on my glow forge when I had my glow forge, and they were my favorite thing. And I would take my set to paint parties, and I realized how much people really got good use out of them. And so I made a couple of sets of them. Good job, Cindy. Thank you for fixing that. Not oh no, oh yay. Okay, now that Raylan is on here, I can put this a little closer. I told you we were going to be using the blow dryer a little more. Okie dokie. So we're going to put that right there. We're going to go back in one more time with this yellow and just be done with it, right? Okay, our next color I think we're going to do is pink. Pink or orange. I haven't decided yet. Let's go back in with one more coat of yellow. Let's do this one. It's just a little patchy. It's not that it needs it. It's just a little patchy. So it's not even a full coat. It's about a half a coat. This is really a one coat wonder, but if you do a bigger surface like this, your brush strokes do show. And so it just benefits you to go back in with just a light coat, not a full coverage coat. but just a light coat to kind of even out your brush strokes. I love this yellow, and it's bright, it's fun, it's airy, and it doesn't really clash with much. It really goes with any color scheme that you really want, except for some of your fall color schemes where you really need like a mustardy golden yellow. But even then, I've used this in its place just because I wanted it to really pop. Okay, there we go. We're going to base coat that just, like I said, just a little half a coat just to kind of make it pop off of this pink. Not going to spend a bunch of time because we will use paint pen on the stuff down here. This one will get paint pen. It just won't get a lot. It's a nice cartoony. It's not a real life looking. There's no eyes or nose or anything. When something's very organic, like my gnomes, I don't like to use a lot of paint pen on my gnomes. I don't like to use a lot of paint pen on something that has a face. And it's just because I feel like it gets it a little cartoony. And when you've done this much shading, you shouldn't have to do it. It's nothing wrong with it. It just, your shading should bring it to life to a point. Paint pen should only be a little extra. It shouldn't be the thing that brings it to life, but it can. If you're just starting out, it's definitely a good starting place. Just now getting on. Did you use? What did you use for the circles? Okay, this is an etched blank, so I just went along with the etching. But for paint parties, I have these circles cut out. So I have these circles cut out. And I have them in all different sizes. This is about a 3-inch circle. And I have, here's a 5-inch circle. So there's a 5-inch, there's a 4-inch, there's a 3-inch, and then there's a 2-inch. I don't think I have a 1-inch in here. But I could probably do a 1-inch. So it'd be a 1-inch, a 2-inch, a 3-inch, a 4-inch, and a 5-inch. See, look, this right here, that is massive. That you would never use that size of a gumball. That is massive. That's overpowering. A 3-inch is really where it's at. So, I mean, I'm thinking about putting those in the shop. If those would be beneficial, let me know, and I'll add them today. I'll add them to the shop today. Oh, that is an awesome idea. And all I do is I just cut those out with my laser, and they are perfect laser cut. And I use them at paint parties. I have taken them to paint parties, and it makes people who don't paint on a daily basis, makes them more comfortable painting a circle. Even with a template and some carbon paper, it's hard to line things up, and circles are the hardest thing to line up because there's no corner to match, right? It's all one circle, so it just makes it a little easier. I'm really new in all of this, and I use my paint pens. Faux show. Oh, girl, I'm telling you, I still use paint pens. Let me tell you, this thing is full of paint pens. I love me some paint pens, but when I've done this much work in the shading, I don't want to cover it up. Like it's a personal goal of mine. Okay, we're gonna move on to the orange. I lied. We're not gonna do the pink yet. We're gonna do the orange, and we're gonna use Warm Sunset, and we're gonna ghost it out a lot because that's really dark orange. We want it to be a nice creamsicle orange. So we're gonna ghost it out. So we're gonna put this a half and half mixture, and we're gonna do something really fun and funky. Okay, I'm gonna move my paint palette out of the way because we don't need it for right now. We're gonna take that, and we're gonna take some white. I'm gonna do a half and half mixture. And remember to get a consistent half and half. I just put half on my brush. You can mix it together too, but I just do half and half, and I mix it on the wood. When I have a good bit of area, like that's a 3-inch circle, that's a good bit of area to be able to mix it in. If I was having to go in on a little 1-inch, no, I would mix it over here on my palette. Okay. There we go. And we're just going to finish this off. We'll clean up our brush strokes, go paint the other orange one, and then we'll come back. And then we will shade. Not only will we shade the orange, but we'll also go back and shade the yellow as well. Okay? Because this is the color that we're going to use. Not this color, but the warm sunset. We're going to use to, oh, is that the only orange gumball? That's the only orange gumball. Well, dagnabbit, I poured a lot of orange. I really thought there were 2 orange gumballs. No, there's 2 pinks. So this is pink and this is pink. Those 2 are green and that's purple. I kind of want to keep the purple one. You can change the purple one to orange, but I kind of want to keep it. All right, so for the shading on the yellow, we're not going to go straight from the bottle warm sunset, but we're going to use warm sunset to make our shade color because we went straight from the bottle yellow. We don't have anything to shade it with, right? So we're going to take our straight from the bottle yellow and add a drop. Here, I'm going to do this over here to where you can see it. So we're going to add, we're not going to need a lot. So I'm going to put like 2 or 3 drops of yellow. And I'm going to put a drop or 2 of the orange. We're going to start with 1 and see where that gets us. And I'm going to add more yellow as I feel like it needs yellow. Yes, I want it to be 1 shade lighter than that because there's our original yellow and there's our shade color, and that is very orange. So we're going to add about a drop or 2 more of the yellow and mix this shade in there. Yeah, that's better. I can already tell that that's going to be a little better. Okay. Clean off my brush. Here's our blending gel right here. So I'm just going to put my brush in the blending gel, work it in, and then put my brush, the very tip. Okay, see the very tip. And we're just going to swipe it. It's not going to be a show-stopping transition, but it is going to be just enough to give it some dimension when this entire thing is completely painted. Okay. I'm going to go underneath this other gumball that's sitting on top of it. And that's the only thing you really need to pay attention to. You go where there's supposed to be a shadow. Okay, I don't know if you can see it in the camera. Do you see the little bit of orange and then it fades into yellow? Okay, I'm going to clean my brush because I'm going to bump over to that full circle one. So I'm going to pick up some blending gel. 1 drop, 1 drop. This thing has lasted me over a year. 1 drop, and I use it all the time because I do 1 drop at a time. I may use 10 drops on a door hanger, but it is 1 drop at a time. Now, this one is sitting up front and center. Nothing is sitting on top of it. You see a complete circle. So I'm not going to go all the way around this gumball. I'm going to leave the very tip top of it. I'm going to leave it bright yellow. Okay. I just want the bottom of it where that shadow would naturally cast. This is just something you get a feel for. And you can definitely look at the mock-up and tell where I kind of shaded it. So you can kind of see where a shadow would lay. Kind of give you a little bit of a cheat sheet. Hey, Cindy, I've been good. Girl, I've been good. Been stressed. Stressed, but blessed. I'm good. I'm good. Just momming and painting and creating and wifing and stressing all at the same time. That's all good. Apologize about drinking in front of y'all. I have not been drinking enough water lately, and it's been showing. So I've been trying to really encourage myself to get more water in my system. Okay, we're going to go back to this one up here, and we're going to give it a second coat. And then we're going to let that dry, and we're going to come back in and shade it. I'm trying to avoid using that blow dryer. Jerry, I'm making a note to go out to the studio as soon as I'm done with this and get my cool little tool, a little heat tool. Jerry sent me a very sweet present. She sent me a heat tool that I've been wanting to get myself for a long time, and I just kept telling myself no. And then I come home from a trip and it's sitting on my doorstep, and I'm like, I didn't order anything unless I forgot, which I've done that before. And I open it, and it's the thing that I know I didn't order that because I have fought with myself in a checkout cart for months, probably going close to a year. And all of a sudden, my little Ranger heat tool is just sitting in front of me. And I searched and searched, and I asked so many people. I was like, "Did you send this?" It didn't come with a gift card or nothing. It just kept just it in a box. And I'm like, someone's being sneaky, Jerry. Uh, someone's being sneaky. And finally let the cat out of the bag. So just cleaning off my brush. Okay, we're gonna blow dry that one because it is thick. And it's still a little patchy because it was not completely dry when I went to add that second coat. So now it's dry and I can get it full coverage. There we go. That's much, much better. There's just one spot where I can see blue. It's because I keep pulling wet paint. We're going to leave it alone. We're just going to call it done and leave it alone. All right, so let's paint the pink or the purple. Let's paint the purple one just because we already have a little bit of purple on our palette. I'm going to pull some white over and do a half and half mixture. Well, it's more of a 2/3, 1/3 mixture. It's the same mixture we did with this one. I just want to go ahead and get this purple one out of the way because it's the only one that's just one. Everything else has 2 gumballs. And this is what I call fussy painting. If you've ever made a cardstock card or scrapbooked or sewed and did applique, fussy cutting is when you would take a piece of fabric or a piece of decorative paper, and there's just one little piece in that pattern that you really, really like and you want to use, and you take a pair of scissors and you cut until you have just that one piece cut out. Well, I used to do a lot of scrapbooking, and that used to drive me nuts. But there was always that one little thing that I'm like, but I really want it, and I want just it, and I couldn't find it in a sticker. And so I would sit and I would fussy cut against my will for the sake of the scrapbook layout. What, baby? No, you can come to me. Okay. Well, I can help you with your arrow in just a little bit, okay? Baby, you're going to have to wait. You can play with something else, okay? All right, so that's painted. That's one coat. We're not going to have to do a second coat. Let's move on to our pink ones and let that dry. All right, our pink ones are going to be the same process as we did with our gumball machine. We're going to take straight from the bottle carousel pink and a little bit, a half and half mixture with white. Okay, so this one's pink and this one's pink. So let's paint this one over here because it's going to be a little easier, and we can just slap that on there because it's on the edge. And things that are on the edge are a lot easier to kind of get in there, get your brush in there and paint. Oh, I don't like painting away from myself. I was trying to avoid turning it. I don't know why I do that. I hold my breath when I paint and I try to avoid turning it. And I shouldn't. Okay, good job. I hope you didn't hurt yourself. You okay? She's very impatient. She does not, she wants help. Even though she can do things on her own, she loves knowing that she asked for help and that you came to help her, which is a good quality. That's a good quality. But she's also impatient. So if you can't help her right then and there, she's going to do it, whether you want her to do it or not. I didn't mind if she got her arrow. I promise you, this has happened a million times. Went behind her bed. She had to get up underneath her bed to get to it. Okay. Here we go. There's our first coat. It's going to need a second. I heard. Good job. Very proud of you.
I got my arrow. So we have this hole.
You got your bow? Are you going to be Merida? Are you gonna pretend to be Merida? The princess?
Yeah.
Ooh. You gonna go do some target practice?
What the?
What?
What is?
There we go. Sorry, y'all. The circles really get to me. Like I start to like. Okay, so there's our first coat. We're gonna let those two dry. I think we should be able to go back to. Nope, it's still wet. Let's blow dry real quick. One purple. I'm surprised. Okay, but look, I did even it out. There was some. I snuck it in there. It did break my heart to only put one. But I was like, not everyone's favorite color is purple. So I only get one on this one. That should be good. I'm getting frustrated with this orange. And it's not the orange's fault. The orange is actually a really good orange. It's the white kind of making it a little patchy. This should.
Mama, watch this.
Oh, look at you.
Mama, just watch.
I am watching. Hold on.
And.
Oh, look at you.
But I don't do it more.
Well, the more you practice, the further it'll go, baby.
Yeah, when I grow up, it'll go forward.
There we go. Much better. Now we can actually shade on that. It was too patchy. There was no way we could shade and it looked good. All right, if you did gumball, what color would yours be? Would you paint them just like the mock-up, or what would your color scheme be?
Okay, Mama, so I'm gonna, and when I press my arrow, please watch me.
I bet you we can bump up in brush size. These, I'm afraid to, because some of these tuck in behind others, and I really need a good, precise angle brush. All right, so half and half mixture of pink. We can get our second coat on here.
I still have an apron on.
That's okay. Yeah, let me get this pink on here, and then while it's drying, I can take your apron off.
Well, I'm going to take my apron off.
Well, baby, it may be tangled up in your hair by now. You've been playing around. Yeah, it's kind of tight around your neck. I don't know if it'll go around your head.
Yeah.
Give me just a second. I'll be done with this pink, okay?
Ooh, it looks so wonderful, Mama.
Oh, well, thank you, baby. Yours do too. I can't wait for yours to be dry.
But Mommy?
Yes, my baby?
Why are you painting gumballs?
Why not? Cover your mouth. I just told you to cover your mouth. Thank you. All right. Let's let those dry. Come here. Here. Step. You're doing it on purpose. Why do you like poking the bear? All right, there's one. There's one. All right. And now, oh, let's not get it in the paint.
And there's two.
And there's two. So this is the little apron that I made her out of some spare ribbon that I had. I hand stitched the ruffle. Huh?
Yarn.
Oh, yarn. And it was just a dish towel from, I'm sure, the Dollar Tree. Maybe even Walmart. I'm pretty sure the Dollar Tree. It's pretty thick, though, so it may not have been the Dollar Tree. I know that's Dollar Tree ribbon. Okay, so now our next color is green. We're just waiting for these to dry. I don't want to mess with the blow dryer if we don't have to. Let's just bump over to the green. The green is Festive Green or Leaf Green, whichever one is your favorite. Festive Green is more of a straight from the Crayola box green. And green, Leaf Green is just it's a tad darker. And we're going to ghost it out just a little bit, so it doesn't matter which one you use. Just whichever one you have on hand. They're very close. Festive Green tends to be brighter because it is lighter. And we're going to do the same thing that we've been doing. We're going to ghost it out a little bit. And then we're going to use the straight from the bottle color to paint the shading. That way nothing clashes. If you've been wondering why I've been doing that, it's just because I don't like my shade color to clash. And sometimes it's really hard to find a bottle straight from the a bottle of paint where the paint straight from the bottle matches your base color. Now, there are times where you would go for where you would shade with a brown on top of something that's orange, or on top of something that's purple, or purple on top of brown. Like there's sometimes where you would strategically pick a random color to paint your shading color. And that's just because they complement each other and they do deepen without clashing. It's just a fun little art trick when you're comfortable with it. Okay, just fussy painting this one in. Leaf green is a really good coverage, so you shouldn't have but one, unless it gets patchy. You should only need one coat of it. Okay, I have a little bit of pink that snuck up in my brush. So be careful with I have a lot of hummingbird feeders that we've accumulated over the last little bit. I've been waiting for the spring because I want to sanitize them. I want to hang them on the fence right here by this big window and this big window so I can watch the hummingbirds when I drink my coffee in the morning. All right, last gumball, and then we finish shading, okay? Normally, if it was just me painting in here, I would have taken my blow dryer and dried each individual one, like each individual color, and shaded them right then and there. Something happened. Get this part back.
Come on.
I'm glad it went right back to the original video. Hopefully it won't try to. Give it a second. It's loading. How's that? Make sure we don't have an echo. Are we good? Hey, Marie. I thought it looked pretty before that coat. Oh, I'm telling you, there's some things there's just a little bit of magic being worked. All right. I don't know what happened. It just kicked us off, but we're back. We're back now. I'm glad it went straight back to the original video. She yells at me like, Mama, you not talking to me. Oh, she used to do that. And we've had to have a talk. And it's a talk that I had, like my mama and my aunts used to have with me, because I would get my feelings hurt about being ignored. But what I did not understand, and now what I'm teaching my daughter, is I'm not ignoring you. I'm making you wait your turn. And so she has a hard time understanding that she has to wait her turn, that she cannot just have an adult's attention immediately without an emergency. I said, unless it's an emergency, you have to wait your turn. There are ways of letting us know you want a turn, but you have got to wait your turn. Otherwise, you're just being rude. And so we're constantly saying you're being rude. And that's been her trigger of, oh, I have to wait my turn. With my son, it was read the room, and it still is read the room. He has a hard time understanding that, okay, we were joking, but we're no longer joking anymore. And you're getting inappropriate, and we understand you don't understand. So I like to look at him. I go, dude, read the room. And we also have like a little gesture now where he's old enough to understand why I can do a little gesture. And he's like, okay, gotcha. Because they're in that stage, they're not adults yet. Although my son is probably more mature than most adults. They're not adults. They're learning. Like, we're teaching them how to be adults. And that I've learned with my kids, that's the best way for me to be able to do it without like yelling and pointing my finger and stop doing that. I don't respond well to that. So I try to give them little cues of read the room, or you're being rude, or wait your turn. And there are times where they blatantly do it on purpose, and I'm like, you can go to your room now because you're purposely being rude. Huh? We have to go do timeout sometimes, don't we? Come on. You want mommy to help? Don't be rude. Right, Becca? All right, here. I'll help you. It's because, okay. Baby, it's backwards. You don't shoot it like this. This has to go from the string. Okay? So you put it through this hole. There you go.
The last man was broken.
Yeah, well, the other one's broken. That one's fixed. You're good. All right, now we're going to blow dry this, and we're going to throw some shading, and then we're done, other than a little paint pen action for the 25, because I'm not going to, you know me, I'm not breaking out a liner brush. Hey, Maria. Okay, so here we go. We're going to break out that same angle brush that has gotten its workout today. And I have a new brush cleaner that I'm testing out today. And I have a feeling this brush right here is going to be the make or break. Does it get, because I use this one a lot. So I promise you, there's a lot of paint buildup right here by the metal. I promise you there is. There has to be. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and load my brush up with some blending gel. Just one drop of it goes a long way. The pizza's ready. Out. Let's talk pizza when Mama's done painting with her friends, okay? We're almost done. She's standing at the oven going, it's ready. There's nothing in the oven. I did make cookies this morning.
I thought you said you're making pizza.
I can make you some pizza for dinner tonight. How about that?
No, I thought you said you were making pizza.
All right, so I'm just taking this shade color, and I'm putting it where it would naturally be on a gumball if it was sitting in a machine, okay?
No.
It doesn't mean that it goes all the way around. If there's a gumball sitting on top of it, obviously there's going to be a shadow. There's going to be a shadow, like right here. I went from here all the way to here. Because right here, there's going to be light hitting it. There's nothing creating a shadow. On this one, I went from here all the way to here. There's nothing sitting on top of it. For this one, I went from here all the way around. On this one, that's the next one we're going to do. Actually, let's do that orange one next, okay? Just because it is a little lighter. It is a little lighter than purple and green. I like to work from lightest color to darkest color when I'm shading, when I'm doing this much color change. Now for this one, I'm not going to shade the very tip top. Yes, ma'am. When I am done, you are being rude. Okay, so this right here is going to be hit by light. All this down here is going to be hit by dark. So I'm just going to take straight from the bottle, Warm Sunset, and just kind of float it on there. And I'm using short, choppy brush strokes to get the color on there. And then I can go back in and smooth it out if I need to. A lot of times I don't need to, but sometimes I do. Clean that up just a little bit. All right, so there. Clean our brush because there's no more orange to be shaded. Let's go straight from the bottle, purple.
Mom, can I wash you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
One drop because we're not going to need. Okay. Load my brush up with some blending gel. And then tip of the iceberg right there. Let me see if I can get it. See? Just enough. And on this one, we're going to go all the way around. Well, let me look at it. We're going to go. Actually, we're just going to go.
Whoa.
Definitely underneath this gumball.
I do need
Definitely help. No, I don't need any help. Thank you, though, for offering. Definitely underneath that gumball. And I might. I don't know. We're going to go all the way around. This will be a learning experience. I feel like it doesn't need it, but then I also feel like it'll look weird if I just leave it alone. So we'll learn.
Yellow and no to orange. Mommy, why you have two greens? Why have two greens and two yellows? And why you have two pinks again?
Now straight, put some blending gel. This last time we're going to have to do blending gel. Straight from the bottle, green. We're going to be very choppy, very short.
Very short, very copy.
Good job, girly.
That's weird. I'm so weird. Am I, Mama?
No, you're funny. Please don't touch the paint.
Is that dry?
Not all of it's dry. Some of it is.
No, that one's dry.
I'm going to leave that alone.
Oh, is that one dry?
No.
Phew. Well,
Okay, but remember that yellow gumball, it needs some shading underneath it because
it
it's
looks
sitting
like
on
dry.
top of that green one. So we're going to...
this one's dry. Mama, you've been...
Oh, crud. I can't find my baby wipes. We'll get that up. We'll get that up later. No biggie. Hey, baby girl, over there by the hummingbird feeders are some baby wipes. Can you bring them to me, please?
Oh, okay, Mama.
Just out of my reach. And I feel like it looks a little weird without capping this off.
What else does, Mama?
No, I need the baby wipes.
There's two. One more sponge, let me know you need.
Thank you. I'm going to put the sponge so it doesn't get paint on it. Last one. And like I said, this is going to be the tip top. We're not going to paint that. We're going to just paint the bottom half of it, okay? Baby, they're over here on the bench, right here.
Oh, there you go. I'll open it up for you.
I just need one baby wipe.
One baby wipe coming up.
Well, thank y'all.
I know how to open it.
There we go.
Wait.
There's all of our shading. Now let's see if we can clean this up. Let Mommy get it because it's there we go. Can you put those back up where you found it? So I'm going to take my baby wipe. Now yellow is going to be notorious for pulling up. So I'm going to do very light pressure and see if I can kind of just get at that one spot where the green is. I may just have to be like, it's okay. if we end up doing paint pen, that's where okay, you go potty, baby girl. That's where the paint pen is going to live. Because when there's that one little spot where you're like, oh man, paint pen covers a lot of sins. So there we go. Speaking of paint pen, we are now at the point where we're going to go ahead and color this in and do a little bit of paint pen. And when I do this much shading, I don't do a heavy paint pen. I really like a nice, thin, crisp line. I don't want a heavy, dark, black line. And our paint pen lives in here. My 3 favorite sizes are 5M, 3M, and 1MR. And when I talk about that, it's right here. It's there's a 3M right there, a PC 3M. So a 3M and a 1MR are probably my most go-to. 1MR. They're my most go-to sizes. And then there's a 5M, and it's chunky to my liking. It's what I started off using all the time. But the more comfortable I got with blending and shading and all of that, I noticed the thinner I preferred my paint pen. So with our design here, we're going to go ahead and pop this out just a little bit. We could have popped it out with a little bit of shading with some pink shading behind it, right? We could also do a little bit of that orange shading, but we're going to surpass that. So we're just going to put a little bit of thin black lines. Did you hurt your toes? And if you're wondering what I'm looking at, I have the mock-up. Here, I'll show you. So this is a page of what Erica's Simplet Tribe gets every month. This is the second page. There's always 2 pages because there's too many designs to fit on one page. And I want you to have a good size image to be able to flip through your book. I want you to be able to print this out and put it in a book and be able to flip through it so that you can quickly help people pick for paint parties, or be able to say, oh, that came in February. Let me go look at February's thing. Or I don't know what month that came in. You could just have a couple pages to flip through, then going through your computer. And I just like, it's an at a glance. It's what I call an at a glance. But it also comes with, and you can see the little black and white lines that I put in the mock-up to kind of give you a cheat sheet of where to put your
Mama, look,
your accent lines.
Mama, I see painting and I see me.
And I'm just using the 1MR. I just like a really thin line, something to give it just a little. I will use the 3M on the wording. I'm going to put my paint palette off to the side because I no longer need it, and it is taking up space. Hey, baby girl, can I show you this when I'm done?
Yeah.
All right, you want to go play with your Barbies? Because I'm almost done, okay?
No, I want to watch you. Get the marker. Get the marker when you need it. You take all of it.
So if you still like paint pens, but you don't want your design to be so heavy, with such heavy black lines, a 1MR, it does. Look at this. I'm going to show you in the overhead. Actually, it'd probably show it better right here.
Mommy,
see how it's just thin, 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 thin.
Mom, can I do that too?
If you get an etched door hanger, it fits perfectly in that etched line.
I want to do that too.
What?
I want to do that too.
Do what? The paint pen?
Yeah.
Your stuff is still way too wet for it, baby.
No, yours. I'm going to do yours because I come from a big girl.
You are a big girl. And I'm not completely outlining everything.
Mama,
I'm not connecting lines. I'm not making it look like I'm not making it look like a coloring book. But I am giving a good crisp line where there needs to be some separation between colors. Okay, so we're going to do around the glass.
why is glass?
Well, that's what gumballs are made of. Gumball machines are made of. They're made of glass.
You don't want to break it.
No, we don't want to break it.
Yeah, I want to break it. Oh, the police officer will come.
The police officer will come.
Yeah, honey.
Well, we don't want that, do we?
Yeah, the police officer will be mad.
You think so? No, they're not usually mad. They're very concerned or confused why something happened. They're like, now, why did you go and do a thing like that?
Well, my grandma told me about this. I'm sure they get mad, so, yeah. Mommy.
We're almost done. We're at the tip top. Watch out. Don't shift anything, okay? A hard time keeping a steady hand as it is.
looks dry. Looks dry.
There we go.
It looks dry.
Now, for the gumballs, I don't know if I'll do, I have it in the mock-up, but I think I'm going to start off with white.
Are you done?
Almost.
So unbelievable, Mama.
Probably break out. I'm probably going to break out the black paint pen.
Mommy, what?
The white's not popping like I want it to.
Mommy,
So I'm just going to put them as like
Mommy,
little
what's that for?
gloss.
Mommy, what's that for?
I'm just kind of giving them a little glossy look with the white. And I'm going to come back in with the black, the 1MR. Now, these gumballs, I don't care what I did on the outside. I probably would have always done a 1MR size on the gumballs just because there's so much shading in there. I don't want anything to get distracting. And I'm focusing.
Mom, there's black.
I'm focusing
Whoa.
the paint pen where it's touching other gumballs.
This is paper.
But not necessarily, like this green already has a black line where the pink.
Yeah.
Right, so I don't need to do another one on the green. But what I will do is I will put where there's this heavy shadow down here.
On the yellow, there's some pink balls on the yellow.
Yeah, see on the yellow, I'm going to do,
Swirls.
for the most part, all the way around.
I'm not.
Please stop.
You're so illegal, Mama.
I'm so unbelievable. Ray, you're treading on thin ice there, baby girl.
But I'm gonna say something unbelievable.
All right, so I'm going to do this. I am so close to being done. Y'all, I'm so sorry about our little guest and her doneness. She is done. She is just done. Her little 4-year-old brain is done being on its best behavior for this particular activity today. And I don't blame her. She's been good longer than I expected her to be good. All right, we're done with paint pens. We're going to put them up. I always put my paint pens up because I tend to lose them. They go back in their little home.
Are you done?
I'm not done. There's one more thing. She's a sweetheart, Grace. Yes, she is.
Mommy, are you done?
I'm almost done. We're going to use this. This is the 3M. And I can tell it's almost empty. There is a way to refill these, though. Y'all don't feel like you always have to buy brand new paint pens. Although they go on sale at Joann's. So the stuff that you refill them with and buying a new one on sale, they're about the same price. So just depends if you can catch it on sale, catch it on sale. If you can't catch it on sale, refill them. All right, where's my paint pen bag? Where'd you put it, baby girl?
I don't know.
Raylynn, where'd you put my paint pen bag? You just had it on your head saying, make way, make way. Moana. Thank you. We don't bib in this house, no ma'am.
It's funny.
Okay, there we go. Y'all, look how precious it is. Do a little Vanna White. Look at it. My grandkids like to be big helpers too. You know what? Are you being a big helper? Are you? She's just ready for the rest of our day. I gave her some incentives for being good, and she's ready. All right, go clean up your Barbies in your room, and we'll go do all the fun stuff. You need socks and shoes. I'm sorry, my finger caught in your hair. We'll discuss that. You know where we're going. You need to go clean up your Barbies before we go. Socks and shoes.
I know where you are.
Look at it. I love it. It's so, when they come to life like this, it just makes my heart happy. It just makes my heart happy because on the page, it's flat. Like, it's cute. And you can tell it's going to be cute in real life. But it's just flat. And then whenever you get it painted, this would have been so cute as an attachment size as well. Which it is available in attachment size. But I really wanted the door hanger size. I really wanted to see how big and bubbly, all pun intended. It just makes me happy. Okay. Alrighty. We are going to go slow and let's see. Hold on. We did the wrong one. Bum, 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 bum. did I do? I need to go back to the other camera. Oh, thank you, Maria. Maria. Layout. There we go. Solo. Let's go back to this. Let's just go back to that. All right. So here it is. I'm so excited about it. I am going to do a spray on sealer, but I probably will not do it today just because it's so humid today. If I needed to do a brush on sealer, this is the sealer that I've been using and I've been loving. You just don't want to pour it on your piece and spread it out. You really want a clean palette. And I have one paper plate that I use for just this. And I put it on the paper plate and I brush it on with a nice wide brush that I only use sealer with. Okay. And that just keeps the sealer from getting contaminated. I don't like the can that you dip your brush in and you seal and you dip your brush in. I have had issues with like little fuzzies or dust getting in there and then your dust getting in, or even if you have pets, every time you open that can and you put your brush in, I've had pet hair in it. I've had issues with a can. I love the fact that this has a top and it seals. I love this as a brush sealer. It's Liquitex, and you get it at any of the craft stores. I've got this at Hobby Lobby. I got it at Joann's. I want to say I've seen this at Michael's as well. And they come in all different sizes. I buy this just because it's just me. I'm not filling a bunch of custom orders much anymore. And if I was, I prefer to spray seal my custom orders. It cures a lot faster. That's my favorite sealer. A little goes a long way. Yes, I've had this since before Christmas, and I am not even halfway down. And I use this a lot. Like all my Christmas ornaments got sealed with this. This is the gloss. I have the gloss and I have the matte. And all of my Christmas ornaments got sealed with this. All righty, y'all. Okay, so I wish everybody had those pages. It's my favorite. I'm telling you, these right here. I'm going to show y'all something real quick. I'm going to show you something because I got to staple this anyway. So let's staple it together. This one, actually, let me show y'all last year's. Because you really see it come together. If you're part of the tribe for over a year, it really starts to come together and you see the benefit of having these pages. So you have the page, right? This goes in the binder because whenever it's the current year, I have my binder. And that way I'm able to pull it out when I paint something. So let me not show all the goodies. This is February. So we're going to open up to February. So here's February, right? So I open up my February. Well, you can't see that. Open up February. Here's page 1 of February, right? This goes right here. All right. So there's February. And here's March. Okay, so there's both. That's what Erica's Template Tribe got this month. And you'll see, if you're not part of Tribe, you'll see these designs pop in every Tuesday for Template to Wednesday. Here's January's. Okay, so it's just nice to be able to flip through. And what I do after the fact, see, I have to have those for business, right? Like I have to be able to see what did I release that week. So there's a lot of paperwork behind each one. But when the year is done, here we go. Okay. So this is all that paperwork that I was telling you about. So there's January. There's February. Okay. And it just starts to really come together. There's March. This is all 2021, right? There's April. And if I need to find something specific, say I need to find something for, 4th of July. Well, I've come to about April, May, June, July. Well, that's when Erica's going to release all that stuff. So look, I've got all my 4th of July stuff here. I got to flip over to May. There's some more. There's a little gnome. Stuff that you forget about that's already been released from years past. You don't have to go searching through my website. You don't have to go searching through my Facebook page. You have it. As long as you print it out. Ooh, that'd be a fun one to paint. We might paint that one. See, this is what happens when I go through this because I'm like, oh, I never painted that one live. That'd be a good one. So there's some good stuff in there. And I have to go back through it sometimes to say, this seems familiar because I'll design something and I'll go, seems eerily familiar. It's because I did something so similar to it. I'm like, back to the drawing board, literally. I paid for Tribe, but not sure how to get it. Okay, so Tribe is not a Facebook group. There's nothing to get in. What you get is you get an email. You get an email with this sheet, and then you get every template, every JPEG, every PNG that goes along with each one of these. And it's one email. I don't bombard you with a million emails. It's one email. And it contains all those files. So when you get your email, you click the link in your email and it opens up to a list of everything that is included, including these. And these are normally, I try to make these the very first thing. So there may be like something that makes it first, because sometimes because I call these at a glance. You search for the word at a glance and it'll pop up. But sometimes there's like at well, apple, there may be an apple in the mix, and that comes before at. Well, I forced this to be the first thing that you see. I didn't get an email. I just that I can find. What is the email that it came from? It comes from Wallace House Designs files.com, because you're getting all your files. So I try to make it just strategically just that. If you send me a private message with your email address, it's the one that is associated with your PayPal account. So if that's not the one you regularly check, I bet you it's over there. And if it's your first month, it probably went to your spam. After you open the very first one, it never goes to your spam after that. So if you just send me an email or send me a private message with your email address that's associated with your PayPal account, and I'll double check. And if I have to resend it, I can resend it. No biggie. Just take all my money. I'm not in template tribe. Well, you can also get these files on a discount every Tuesday. You just have to wait every Tuesday to see what's going to be released. So I only release about 5 a week. And this was a February. So this tribe file is already closed. You can buy it as a single template or a single JPEG or a wooden blank, but you can no longer get the bundle that comes with this anymore. The next bundle is going to be April 1st. If you enroll in Template Tribe anytime in the month of March, you're enrolled for April 1st release. So you'll get your very first email on April 1st. Alrighty. Well, we are all done. Like I said, I'm going to go stick this outside and wait for the humidity to come down a little bit. And I'm going to seal this bad boy. And I'm probably going to cut out some extra gumballs and do my little thing. And this may be Mama's Mother's Day present. I don't know. I may keep it for myself because this is precious. And I do a candy theme for Christmas. And this may be a prop for my candy theme. I don't know. It's too precious. I had to paint it. And I'm glad we got to paint it together as a family. I will see y'all next time. Can't promise you what day, but I'm thinking Friday. Y'all want to meet back here Friday? If you want me back here Friday, let me know. Just say Friday in the comments and I'll see y'all Friday and we'll do something fun together. All right. I'll see y'all later.